The pastor is conducting Sunday church services when mayhem suddenly breaks out. Out of nowhere, a man walks up to the altar rail, points a gun, and pulls the trigger. By some miracle, it jams as the pastor dives for cover.
That is crazy. What's up, everybody? This is Cedric with Actual Christianity. Thank you guys so much for remaining subscribers during that blackout. Was feeling very unwell, to say the least, but I'm much better now, and content's coming. Today, I want to talk about the reality of violence, particularly against church bodies. Over the last couple of years, there have been these occasions in which someone would come to a church with the intent to harm people, okay? Some of them have been crazy enough to bring firearms. Others have been crazy enough to bring knives, both of which are bad. This is a message to every man of God, every man that's part of a church body, to the leadership in the churches, particularly. Men need to be ready, need to be absolutely ready for any sort of evil that will come to the church in that fashion.
The good Lord was definitely with this pastor. He just started his sermon when all of a sudden a man in the congregation jumped up, pointed a gun, and pulled the trigger. But the gun jammed, and a good Samaritan's jump saved the day.
A hero emerges. Take another look. The assailant appears ready to pull the trigger again, but he's tackled to the floor.
Kudos to this man who was basically incredibly quick to react to the situation. I mean, there are so many instances where people are not ready and are slow to react to instances like this. And so God bless this man who stopped this dude. By God's grace, that gun was not in battery, was not ready to properly go off. This pastor could have very well been taken out if that gun did not jam. For my men who are leading the churches, deacons, leadership in general, right? Men need to be watchful of everything that's happening within the church. Anything that's happening in the congregation needs to be seen and needs to be observed. There need to be men that are on watch and ready for any sort of instance like this. This guy was thwarted, thankfully, very quickly, but you can imagine this scenario going in a really bad direction if that gun was not jamming. Also, kudos to the pastor for immediately getting out of the way. There are people who will just stand there with their mouth open, surprised and just frozen, not doing anything. Like, in moments like these, dude, the seconds and milliseconds count. So good on him for moving out of the way.
The hero is a church deacon who makes a flying leap and puts the suspect in a bear hug. There is a frantic
Good on that deacon. Good on that deacon. Guys, we need to be ready
effort to get the gun. All of this is playing out in front of the congregation and a live stream as people watch from home.
Also, let me also say this as well. If you need to throw some punches, some kicks, violence is sometimes the answer. I know some people are going to hear that and be like, violence is never the answer. No, that's not true. Sometimes violence is in fact an answer. Sometimes one needs to be violent to thwart violence that came in. We need to be capable of having a reactionary means of violence if that is the best option of stopping the threat. And maybe this isn't necessarily the option, but maybe simple concealment, something like that. Regardless, this idea that reacting with violence being a bad thing, that needs to go away. Like, we need men to be like these guys, and even more dangerous if need be, in order to save lives.
Reverend Glenn Germany of the Jesus Dwelling Place Church in Pittsburgh says he couldn't believe he was staring down the barrel of a gun.
At the moment, I was just trying to stay alive it really is a miracle.
Germany says he does not know the suspect. And there's the hero church deacon, Clarence McAllister, after.
Also take note that once he apprehended the firearm, his finger was off the trigger. That's very, very, very good. Trigger discipline is unfortunately it's kind of a rare thing when it comes to gun handling. Responsible people who own firearms tend to be better about that. So thankfully in this case, this guy's finger was off the trigger. But yeah, kudos to him for that as well.
Confiscating the pistol. What is going through your mind when you see this guy with a gun?
Oh, I was shocked. I've never seen nothing like that in my life.
We reunited the pastor and the hero. He's your guardian angel.
Absolutely. And so
No. Sorry, that's just not true. Notion of guardian angels being human beings because they do something good, it's not biblical. Okay, it's not biblical. Angels, super biblical, super real thing, okay? Guardian angel, biblical thing, mentioned in scripture. But a human being simply doing something good for another person, it does not make them an angel. It doesn't make them a guardian angel. And so, for those of you who hear this and be like, oh, come on, it's just saying blah, 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 blah. We need to really define these things. We need to standardize these things theologically so that there's no confusion about this stuff. We need to present it as God presents it, okay? So again, a human being simply doing something for someone else does not mean that they're an angel, okay? Angels are created beings from God that are essentially spiritual unless brought into the physical world, okay? Like that's how that works.
And isn't it interesting to note that
I ain't mad at that chick either.
that guardian angel's name is Clarence, just like in the Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
No, not a guardian angel. Again, I'll say that one more time. Right, let's let the Bible define these things, not current culture. I'm just saying.
By the way, the suspect is behind bars. He's charged with attempted homicide. And just hours before the church shooting, a relative of the suspect was found dead in his home. No charges filed in that case.
Men in the church need to be capable of violence, okay? Not violence against the innocent, okay? Not just some sort of craziness, but we need to be capable of responding with force, okay? In order to prevent evil people from doing these things. Like that's the reality of it. Let me know what you guys think about this video. A thumbs up is greatly appreciated. I've been told that attractive, smart people subscribe to this channel, you know? So if you don't subscribe, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry. See y'all in the next one.